The Diddy channel, right? How were you prepared to act as soon as it happened?
My team is like basically, and this is something you have to structure your team around, but your team needs need to be full of generalists when you do trendy channels. So I would never like I have my core team, which is the team that worked on the Diddy channel, and then I have specialist teams on the outside. So let's say there's like
Can you
specialist.
explain like what's your core team? What's who's in there? How many do you have?
Yeah, so the core team consists of I think like 80 or 60 between 80 and 60 people. It varies, like we scale back and forth depending on how many videos we're trying to do every day.
Okay, so you have 60 to 80 employees.
Yeah, on the in that core team. But these are freelancers, so there's not like people always forget like that they're not actual employees like under a full-time contract, right? They're freelancers, which are very different than to having an obligation to have like 80 employees, because that's a completely different type of like overhead you're getting yourself into, right? But yeah, still it's a decently sized operation. And this team is full of generalists, basically. So everyone is just good at taking a topic they know nothing about and becoming a specialist in it, basically. So they know a little bit about everything. And then once I tell them, okay, let's go and run up this niche, they start rapidly improving and rapidly producing the content. Because they're not, like, for example, they're not only Minecraft editors. They're not only I don't know, finance script writers. They're always people who have general knowledge about crypto, science, celebrity, TV shows, this kind of stuff, right? So this way you can maneuver very quickly.
Got it. So then Diddy's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
scandal happens. You take your generalists and you put them on the Diddy case, and you're
Yes.
okay. So let's say that channel. How many editors is running at the same time? How many script writers? How many strategists, ideation people? Like, what does that look like? The operation there.
So it's okay. So the team is comprised of basically there's not one team working on it. It's always teams running in parallel. So you have clusters of video editor, scriptwriter, voiceover artist, video editor, scriptwriter, voiceover artist, and these and there's like 5 clusters that run on each celebrity channel, and they produce 1 video a day, right? So this way you can be very consistent because it's only 1 video a day with like very easy writing, very easy editing style. So you get like, and when you want to scale the operation, you just add an extra cluster to it. So that means you have instead of 5, you can do 10 clusters, and then you have 10 videos a day, right? So that's how it usually works. And then above those clusters of video editor, voiceover, you have your managers, like your general managers, and
Right.
basically, I like to say a manager would basically be someone that goes to every single member of the team every day. It goes like, hey, when is this going to get done? That's their entire job. Just asking when is this going to get done? Because what I've noticed with automated like processes or automated like workflow structures is that people don't listen to notifications because they get them throughout the entire day. If it's an automated notification, people just ignore them, right? Like when you get a notification from work, you usually just swipe it away. So instead, what I do is I actually hire someone to just chase everyone. Because if you get an angry message from, like, it's not an angry message, but it's like yo, can we get an update? Like, when is this going to be done? If you
Right.
get that message, right, you're way more likely to reply and actually start working on it because you feel the pressure more because there's a human telling you to do something instead of like an automated computer program where no one notices it anyway. So yeah, how you can imagine it is, so you have the manager.
Actually, let's go higher. So there's you, and then who's under you in that structure?
Okay, so
Or
you have
do you
me.
have a partner? Like, what's the?
On some channels I have a partner. On this, on most not, but on some I need strategic partners. But this is mainly for the channels that then need a specialist team, and we can get to that part later.
Right. Okay.
But the reason, yeah, so this is the reason why I'm able to run so many channels is because the team is generalized in everything. Everything's a standard procedure, so it's very scalable, right? But if you do a more specialized channel where you're for example, doing 3D animation, because I also have those, right? You're doing 3D animation or 2D animation or something concerning graphic design, that's where you need a partner to ensure that the quality is correct, right? But on a generalist team, you can scale very easily because you just need a manager. And so how the structure is on a generalist team, it usually is you have me, then under me is the manager, and I give my instructions to the manager, right? I don't directly give instructions to the team. It's always towards the manager. After that, the manager spreads it out over those 5, and I can pull up the Trello real quick so you have an idea. This is like a channel I briefly worked on. Like we've moved on, like we cycle between a lot of different channels until something hits, basically. And what basically gets done is like I tell the manager, and the manager is also usually the person that does the ideation. So the first 5 or 10 topics or so I will give to the manager, and then after that I say, okay, now start extrapolating these topics, and I've already trained them basically my ideation process. So the manager is also the person who does the ideation. So for example, I tell them, okay, we're gonna do this niche, here are all the competitors. Okay, let's try and crush them and make better content than them, right? I give him the first 10 topics. Then once he understands what he needs to do, he'll start putting the topics in here. After the topics, then he will assign the topics. So you can see, I don't want to like dox my own freelancers, but you can see how people are getting assigned to these cards. And then every time they complete a step, so for example, once the scriptwriter is done with writing a script, he will attach the script here and then just move it over to VoiceOver. And then the same thing happens over and over again until you reach the end of the Trello board. And in this way, it's just a very simple system. But like the nice part about simplicity is that it's very scalable, and that's really what you want to have. It's very easy to scale up, and it's very easy to scale down. Like I don't need to adjust the system if we eliminate a channel. I don't need to adjust the system if we add a channel. It's super easy, right? It takes 2 minutes to set up, and that's of key importance when you run this type of business.
What's the turnaround on these videos?
The turnaround is usually a day, yeah. But also on some channels, things get done in bulk. So for example, we'll have some kind of like a buffer period. In which like we'll write like 10 scripts, do like 10 voiceovers, 10 videos get edited, and while we do that, basically, once those 10 videos are done, we have like a buffer, and we can just keep producing the videos at the same rate, and this way, we can make sure the uploads are kind of constant on the channel. Got
it. And how do you deal with all the issues that comes with it, right? An editor that takes too much time, an editor that just doesn't answer. I'm sure that happens a lot.
Yeah.
A scriptwriter that does mistakes and all that. How do you manage all that? Is that the guy that you said you hired that chases everyone, or what else do you do?
It's mainly so the cool part is if you have someone that chases, you don't have to do it yourself, and that gives you a lot more clarity to make the right decisions on a channel, right? So for example, it's not where a lot of companies go wrong, or a lot of YouTube operations go wrong, is that the management is bottom up, where it's always the freelancers going, oh, when is my payment coming? Or when, is this good? Everything goes to you, basically. It's like a pyramid, and all the bullshit gets pushed to the top, which is you. And that's what you want to prevent from happening. So instead, you want to make sure that there is a layer under you that takes everything, filters all the most key components out, and takes care of the rest. And you are able to hear like the core concerns, and then you're able to look down on the structure and go, okay, this is where mistakes are being made. This is where mistakes are being made, and then you tell your management aspect of it to go ahead and fix that in whatever way it needs fixing, right? It's just very, and I keep saying this, but it's very important to only have a couple touch points, especially when running large operations. When you run 1 or 2 channels, you can just communicate with the team one-on-one. There's no issue with that, right? But if you're running 18 channels at the same time and you're uploading 5 videos a day on each, there's no way in hell you can keep track of what's going on. So you have to make sure you have some kind of barrier between you and that that type of chaos because it will drive you insane. And I've been there, I've done that, and yeah, you need to make sure that happens, especially when you start scaling up. It's a worthwhile investment.